It is said that in Ulthar, which lies beyond the river Sky, no man may kill a cat. And this I can verily believe as I gaze upon him who sitteth purring before the fire. For the cat is cryptic, and close to strange things which man cannot see. He is the soul of antique Egyptus, bearer of tales from forgotten cities in Morocco and Opnir. He is akin to the jungle lords, and heir to the secrets of hoary and sinister Africa. The Sphinx is his cousin, and he speaks her language. But he is more ancient than the Sphinx, and remembers that which she hath forgotten. In Ulthar, before ever the Burgundists forbade the killing of cats, there dwelt an old cotter and his wife who delighted to trap and slay the cats of their neighbors. Why they did this I do not know, save that many hate the voice of the cat at night, and take it ill that cats should run stealthily about yards and gardens at twilight. But whatever the reason, this old man and woman took pleasure in trapping and slaying every cat which came near their hovel, and from some of the sounds heard after dark, many villagers fancied that the manner of slaying was extremely peculiar. But the villagers did not discuss such things with the old man and his wife, because of the habitual expression on the withered old faces of the two, because their cottages were so small and so darkly hidden under sprinkling oaks at the back of the neglected yard. In truth, many of the owners of cats hated these old folks. They feared them more. Instead of berating them as brutal assassins, merely took care that no chairs, pet, or mouser should stay toward the remote hovel under the dark trees. When through some unavoidable oversight a cat was missing, and sounds heard after dark, those losers would lament impotently, or console himself by thinking fate was not one of his children that thus vanished. One day a caravan of strange wanderers from the south entered the narrow cobbled streets of Ulthar. Dark wanderers they were, and unlike the other raving folks who passed through the village twice every year, in the marketplace they told fortunes for silver and bought gay beads from the merchants. What was the land these wanderers? None could tell, but it was seen that they were given to strange prayers, and that they had painted on the side of their wagons strange figures with human bodies and the heads of cats, hawks, rams, and lions. And the leader of the caravan wore a headdress with 2 horns and a curious disc betwixt the horns. There was this singular caravan a little boy with no father or mother, but only a tiny black kitten to cherish. The plagues had not been kind to him, yet had left him with a small furry thing to mitigate his sorrow. And when one is very young, one can find great relief in the lively antics of a black kitten. So the boy, whom the dark people called Menes, smiled more often than he wept as he sat playing with his graceful kitten on the steps of an oddly painted wagon. On the 3rd morning of the wanderer's stay in Ulthar, Menes could not find his kitten, and as he sobbed aloud in the marketplace, certain villagers told him of the old man and his wife, and of sounds heard in the night. When he heard these things, his sobbing gave place to meditation, and finally to prayer. He stretched out his arms towards the sun and prayed in a tongue no villager could understand. Though indeed the villagers could not try very hard to understand, since their attention was mostly taken up by the sky and the odd shapes that the clouds were assuming. It was very peculiar, but as the boy uttered his petition, there seemed to form overhead a shadowy, nebulous figure of exotic things, of hybrid creatures crowned with horns, flaked discs. Nature is full of such illusions to oppress the imaginative. So upon the 3rd day, the strangers left, and so did all the cats. A little boy went around exclaiming a few days later that all the cats were circling around the cottage of the old man and woman. The villagers did not know how to believe from such a young boy, and so they thought that an evil pair had charmed the cats to your death. They prefer not to mess with them, and to avoid the dark effect. So Ulthar went to sleep in vain anger, and when the people awoken at dawn, behold, every cat was back at his hearth. Large and small, black, gray, striped, yellow, and white. None was missing. Very sleek and fat did the cats appear, and purring with content. The citizens talked to one another about the affair and marveled not a little. And since the cats did not return alive from the cottage of the ancient man and his wife, the people agreed to look on one thing. They thought it was weird that the cats were back from that dark place. A week passed before people noticed that the house had no lights or noise. Then they left to go to the house to check in on the old man and wife. When they opened the door, the entire town was shocked to see that the bones of the old man and wife were picked clean. The 2 were dead, and so a law was formed. No man shall kill a cat.